Oil suppliers have already started rationing orders at $6 a gallon. That's 3 times as much as in October of 2020. Trish Regan's here, famed business journalist, host of the Trish Regan Show. Americans do not understand the concept of shortages. It's just something that is one of the great things about America we don't have to deal with. Do people understand how bad it's going to get?
I don't think anyone understands how bad it's going to get. I mean, these are things that we really haven't ever had to experience before. Sure, I mean, New England winters are tough, believe me. I am a born and bred New Englander, and I've been through many of them, including a lot of power outages along the way. But I would say that we've never really had to experience, say, what maybe Europe has experienced. And it's common there that they're going to say, okay, we've got a shortage, we're going to turn this off. Americans just haven't had to deal with that. I think the idea has always been in America, if you could pay for it, you'd find a way. But what we're finding now is it's going to be so bad, it's going to be so severe that you're seeing companies are already saying they're holding back. They're not willing to sell as much at whatever price because they don't know, Leland, what's really going to happen.
Yeah, the other part of that, right, is that you say at any price, everybody at some point is going to get hurt by the price increases, and you got inflation on food. You got a lot of people on fixed incomes. The increases are real. Bloomberg tips for staying warm this winter. And this was written about Europe, but you can imagine that we're going to start doing these stories here in America. Lap cats, quilts, and brisk walks around the house. In Switzerland, they're talking about not being able to heat your home above 60 degrees and the like. How long? Are we talking months until this comes to America?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility at all, because at some point, this is going to become so expensive that a lot of people aren't going to be able to afford it, period.
And then people die, they freeze to
make decisions. And listen, this is one of those basic necessities, right? Like, you don't really think, I need a lap cat. I need to go for more hikes, like they may be thinking in Switzerland. I mean, great, good for them. But that's not really what folks outside Boston are thinking about in terms of winter. It's really kind of culturally just not something that we've ever had to do. And frankly, Leland, I'll just tell you, in what I consider the greatest economic power on earth, we shouldn't have to do.
Right. Well, it changes sort of our thinking about whether we are real economic power. It's about how people feel. That was sort of how we started the show. Because you brought up politics, President Biden has made this in many ways about the oil companies, right? Record profits. And in fairness, they have had record profits, continue to have enormous earnings reports. Just in the past couple of weeks, I'm going to look over Shell, $9.45 billion. Total Energies, $9.9 billion. And then on the stump, he'll say something like this. Take a listen.
My message to the American energy companies is this. You should not be using your profits to buy back stock or for dividends. Not now.
There is a populist message there, and I'm wondering if Republicans who continue to say no to any kind of legislation against the oil companies might have a vulnerability here.
I don't think they do. Only in that, you know what, if a company decides it's in their interest to buy back stock, that's in the interest of the shareholders. And let's not forget the fundamentals of who we are as a nation. And that all comes from capitalism. So
fair point. But still, when you got people who are really hurting and they're paying double, triple what they were paying last year for heating oil, and they're not able to heat their homes, their kids are hungry, and you've got the President of the United States saying, hey, these companies are making record profits here, and I'm going to clamp down on them. I, Elizabeth Warren, have this bill that is going to give some of those profits back to the people who are paying record high prices. That sounds pretty good.
Sure. I mean, hey, it sounds good. And you know what? You're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to be the next France, and China's going to be the next USA. I mean, let's be honest with each other. How are we really going to compete? By having a free market economy, by saying, you know, we're going to get the Joe Biden administration out of the way when it comes to drilling in the United States of America, because, you know, we need this from a financial point of view. We need this from an international security point of view. And ultimately, we just want what's good for this country. Now, I say this, Leland, with a lot of sensitivity and appreciation for green energy.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.